Good morning, everyone. It is the 6th of January, Saturday. The weather is beautiful out there. It's a bit cold, but sunshine and blue sky, which I haven't seen for quite a while actually, in Greater Manchester. So yeah, everything's good. As promised on my channel when I first started, I was going to try and put regular updates with regards to my journey regarding kind of cryptocurrencies and my investment and lending and all that kind of stuff. As you'll have seen, my last video was 5 days ago on Hashflare and the wire transfer and what was taking so long with them actually processing that. Since then, I have had some good news. After kind of a few email back and forths with their support team, again, they have been great. I think they just possibly need some training or something like that. I saw a YouTube video recently where one of their senior staff, Edgar Burrs, was talking about expanding the support team, so I presume that's what they're doing. And also with them being quite inundated with tickets, I think they've had a bit of an issue in terms of just getting through the tickets, really answering the questions, and just sometimes just being quite robotic in terms of their responses, which understandably can irk some people. And I've seen other comments on other YouTube videos where the customer has actually been quite irked about the way they've been treated. For myself, again, I was in the same kind of boat. However, having had some email back and forth with the guys, you can actually see that my hash rate has actually been increased. So up until a few days ago, my hash rate was 10.16 terahashes. So the 10 terahashes were purchased plus the 0.16, so 160 gigahashes of hash rate that was automatically updated through the reinvestment function. Since then, obviously, as you can see, I now have 12 terahashes. So let's just quickly go to my history, and I'll show you when that appeared. That appeared on the 2nd of January. So the email conversations I had with the guys was to do with the wire transfer, as you'll know from my last video. For some reason, the wire transfer had gone through on the 28th of January, but they couldn't see it on their in their bank on their side. My feedback to Matt, who was the support person at Hashflare, was that they need to somehow link that all up. So at the moment, it seems like a very broken process in that you send the wire transfer. You make the order with Hashflare as you normally would by hash rate, etc. So just go into here, buy some hash rate, and then you select the payment method, you select wire transfer, do that. I don't want to go any further. There's no point. If you're watching this and you already know about Hashflare, then you'll know how that works. If not, leave a comment and I can talk you through it. So you do that, and then you receive an invoice. Then separately, you get an invoice, and you also get an email instructions to what you need to do. Then you separately need to set up a wire transfer with your bank and put the certain details in again. So I've mentioned that in a previous video. So once you've then done that, you have to wait for the bank to actually process that wire transfer, and that wire transfer then goes to Hashflare's bank. And then what Hashflare then do is they check with their bank to make sure that that's gone through, and that's a bit of a manual process. My suggestion would be for them to actually make that an automated process where every day at midnight or something like that, or twice a day, they check with the bank, or the system checks with the bank, and once the funds have been cleared, the hash rate is automatically loaded onto the system. Because when I actually made this purchase, it says obviously it was processed on the 2nd, but I actually made the purchase on the 22nd of December. So just after I'd come back off holiday, I'd made the purchase, and you get a notification to say if the payment hasn't been received by Hashflare within 7 days, the status would go from pending to cancelled or rejected, one or the other anyway. So my concern was that that's what would happen. However, mine stayed at pending until obviously it was processed, which is a surprise really, because that's nearly it's 10 days, more than 10 days. So I wasn't sure what was going on. But again, when you're dealing with large sums of money, it's quite a scary thing, and that's what I tried to explain to Hashflare with regards to this. So I spoke to him and I said to him, well, when your customers are transferring large sums of money, and then we don't receive a notification from yourself to say that we've received it, purely because it's a manual process and your support team are possibly dealing with other queries, it can leave customers feeling quite scared as to where that money has disappeared to. Now I was very very confident in that I'd used exactly the correct IBAN details, BIC details, and I followed Hashflare steps down to a T in terms of how to carry out a bank transfer. So I knew that if anything had gone wrong, it's something at their end, and they needed to fix that. So after again a few emails back and forth, Matt, for some I'm not sure whether Matt did anything or what, but suddenly on that day, I saw my hash rate increased to what it should have been. So, as you can see, 22.16 terahashes, and I currently have, and this is since the start after doing a mini reinvest at some point earlier here. Um, I'm on 0.030377599 Bitcoin, which might not seem like a lot, but I did a quick calculation on here, Bitcoin calculator. Let's just do a quick refresh on this actually, just to make sure we've got the latest price. And that is $502, which equates to £370. I've done a similar thing on Google and it works out around the same. So $500 within the space of just over 2 weeks, maybe a little longer than 2 weeks actually, probably about 3 weeks. I'll take that $500 for not doing a lot. In terms of my kind of return on my investment, so I've obviously spent around $4,000 on this now. So I should get my investment back in about 8 weeks or so, providing that everything stays as it is in terms of mining difficulty and the price of Bitcoin. Now, obviously, this is all based on the price of Bitcoin right now. Now, as you can probably see today on CoinMarketCap, just do another that is refreshed, I think. Let me just do a quick refresh again just to make sure. Bitcoin's price is 16,984. This was, let's have a look. Let's just put one on here. 16,544. So we're talking about between £16,000 and £17,000, $16,000, sorry. Very hard to actually, compute that. I'm working in dollars right now because my job I work in pounds all day. So it's a bit of a I do get caught out every now and then. So again, if the price of Bitcoin increases, then I'll make my money back sooner. If it doesn't, then it'll take me a bit longer. But again, I'm not concerned. Overall, this contract is very, very profitable. As you can see at today's prices, let me just do another refresh just to make sure we've got the latest. At today's prices, I'm looking at a revenue forecast of 20,000 US dollars, which is around 1 Bitcoin. That there is a revenue forecast, so that isn't taking into account the mining fees, the pool fees that Antpool and Hashflare charges. So if you have a look at my my log, so this is my history. This is the last 10 transactions. But as you can see, I get this amount of Bitcoin, and then they take a cut of that. So if you do a little calculation, let me just do a very, very quick calculation for everybody. 52275 divided by 332,945. And if I just do a percentage of that, it works out to be about 16%. That is around 16% of my actual payout. So if I go back to dashboard, what we need to do is basically take off, this is taking its time, take off around 16% of each of these values to get you your kind of profit, so to speak. So if I just have a look at in the week, so it's around 16-17%. So let's just be prudent and say pool fees about 17%. So if I do 384.09 times 0.83, which is the profit amount, I'm left with $319 a week in profit I'm making, which isn't too bad considering that's money that's money being kind of generated for me, or my Bitcoin being generated for me. Again, that's my profit off here. However, when we do come to actually taking that into my wallet, once I've reached my 0.05 Bitcoin limit for my withdrawal amount, there'll obviously be another network fee, as they talk about here, which is the Bitcoin network fee. So that's just a fee for actually carrying out the transactions. So I'm hoping that by the time I reach this will have actually fallen further. If it doesn't, I'm not going to withdraw, because as you can see, even Hashflare say themselves, they do not recommend withdrawing while the network fee is this high. It should be dropping, hopefully, as the number of transactions reduce. When that will be, who knows? But if it does take a while, then I may have to take the hit. But again, 0.0007 Bitcoin, how much is that in today's prices? Let's have a quick look. $11. So, it's quite high. But again, if it comes to it, I may have to just do that and just take the hit. Not ideal, but it is what it is at the end of the day. At the moment, though, I feel comfortable holding in here. Well, I have no choice at the moment because I've got the 0.05 Bitcoin limit that I need to hit, which I'll get there within the next couple of weeks. If I'm getting that kind of payout each time, minus obviously the fee, I shouldn't be too bad. But again, my plan is with Bitcoin, as I mentioned previously, is to actually hold the Bitcoin for as long as I can, with the aim of I'm hoping, I'm speculating, I'm based on everything, all the sources and that I've kind of viewed and read. Bitcoin's price is going to be increasing as the year goes on. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping that is the case for everyone involved because there's a lot of money to be made here. And if it does, by that time, hopefully I'll have more Bitcoin, as you can see. And if I can get to kind of, I'm looking to invest further into here anyway. I may actually even do a bit of the reinvesting. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully that number there will double, triple, quadruple, whatever we're talking, and everyone will be happy then. Just finally, just to finish off a little bit on the reinvestment function. So I had a query off a gentleman called Mohammed on my last video on Hashflare where I talked about the wire transfer. He asked me about whether reinvesting to my current contract. It actually doesn't. I've responded to him in the comments in my on that video. However, I just thought I'd clear it up for everybody else. So as you can see here, on the 15th of December, I purchased my contract for 10 Tera. This is my first contract, and I left the reinvestment function on. The day after, I made sufficient Bitcoin to actually reinvest. So the system, I didn't need to do anything. I left the reinvest function on, and the system automatically reinvested for me. And that made a contract for 160 gigahashes. So as you can see, the 160 gigahash contract started on the 16th to the 12th, and it expires on the 16th. So it doesn't roll up into the 15th. It actually expires on the 16th on its own. And as you can see, my 12 terahash contract, I bought it was activated on the 2nd of January, and that's going to finish on the 2nd of January next year. So each time, whether you reinvest or buy a new contract, it'll show as a separate contract on here, rightly so, because that's what you're entitled to. It's a 1-year contract. And then on here, it'll just show as your aggregated hash rate, because that's what it is, basically. It doesn't matter whether they're separate contracts or one big contract. At the end of the day, you're using that hash power to generate Bitcoin for yourself. So that is it, really. That's my update in terms of how I've been getting on Hashflare and finally getting my my upgrade to my hash rate. I will be putting further updates on with regards to how I'm getting on with this stuff as well. So probably put another Hashflare one up next week or something, just to see, and hopefully we'll see this number increase further. We'll see how we get on with that. In the meantime, I will be putting another video up on Bitconnect because obviously, as you guys know, I've been investing in Bitconnect, and I put another investment in, put a new loan in, and I'll show you, and I've updated the spreadsheet as well that I've been using, so you'll see the kind of money I'm making at the moment and my projections as well. I will also put a video up regarding how to buy Bitcoin without the fees that Coinbase usually charges when you buy direct from the Coinbase wallet. In the meantime, if you would like to invest in Hashflare, then please do use my referral link. I've put it in the description below, and there, I'm not sure what you get for that. I think you get about 5% off your first purchase or something like that. I'm not too sure, but you don't lose anything. So by all means, please do use that, and be sure to like, subscribe, and just click the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and comment. Really, I'd be really grateful. As you know, this my YouTube channel is very, very, very new, so I am learning as I'm going along, and the feedback that I'm receiving, I'm trying to take that on board as well. So hopefully, I'll improve further videos in the future as well. So I'll speak to you guys soon, and I look forward to putting another video out. Take care, guys. Bye bye.